Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So friends, in this video we will have our discussion on this upcoming transit of Rahu and Ketu when they will be transiting in the Capricorn sign. Rahu will transit Capricorn and Ketu will transit to the Cancer sign. We already have had our discussion on this and there is kind of couple of months before this actual axis shift to happen, but just because today at a time when I'm recording this video, it's the energy of the lunar eclipse. Rahu is very strengthened. So I really wanted to talk about Rahu and Ketu axis perspective as well. So I thought let's have our discussion on this topic, that if you have planets in this axis of Capricorn or like Cancer, any of the planet being placed over there, so how the change is going to be when Rahu or Ketu will transit over it. Because friends, we cannot underestimate the power of Rahu and Ketu to completely change the course of our life, bring some sudden beginnings in our life. So all of that is possible. Rahu and Ketu are known as the karmic planets, something which is there as a dormant talent or a fated event or a destiny's birth promise can be delivered through Rahu and Ketu. And Rahu in the Capricorn is extraordinary, strengthened, potent, and powerful, especially when we talk about the obsession of Rahu in terms of giving you status or career progression. And when we talk about Ketu, so the cleansing, emotional cleansing, and the detachment is attached with Ketu's operations or Ketu's energy operating in the Cancer domain. So we will have our discussion on all of that. So friends, before we will start our discussion, we will first pray to Lord Ganesha, who is the Hindu god of auspiciousness, good omens, and who presides over all the knowledge of mystic sciences known to humankind. So Om Vakratund Mahakaya Suryakoti Samprabha Nirvighnam Kurumadeva Sarvakareshu Sarvada. So, friends, a couple of things which I have already mentioned. The Rahu Ketu transit, which will happen on the December 5th, 2026. It marks a fundamental shift from the Aquarius Leo axis, because Aquarius was connected with innovation, Leo with the ego. Now, this transition will happen in a way where the Capricorn energy will work on the plane of material structure and Cancer energy will work on the emotional roots and the nurturing. And we know that because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn and Cancer is ruled by the moon. So that means Rahu's presence in Capricorn demands extreme pragmatic discipline to material expansion, while Ketu in Cancer forces a detachment from emotional dependency and internal conditioning. And friends, realize this thing. The way the zodiac works, it's just like that in the Capricorn. You first do the diligent work, and then in the Aquarius, you expect the rewards. But because Rahu and Ketu are always retrograde, so that means whatever Rahu would have encountered the shortcoming, that why, irrespective of having that craving for the achievement, status, and the gains, why it was not happening. So now when it will be in the Capricorn, it will make you work in that domain. And same is the way, if Ketu would have encountered any of the issues of the pride, of ego, it will work deep in your emotional psyche now when it is going to be there in the Cancer. So friends, when transiting Rahu or Ketu forms a conjunction over the natal planets, which is going to be today's discussion, it acts as a cosmic activator, amplifying desire, Rahu, or triggering severance and spiritual realization. Now, friends, the classical foundation. So, over this topic, the classical Vedic astrology like highlight the fundamental nature of the nodes. Like if you will go by the Bhrat Prashar Hora Shastra, especially the chapter 3, shloka number 30, it mentions that Rahu has smoke-like appearance, blue complexion, it lives in forest, it is like courageous, smart, and wise. And Ketu, similar to Rahu, has a red appearance but is fiery and fierce. Fal Deepika says, chapter 8, shloka 21, Rahu gives results like Saturn, Shanivat Rahu, and Ketu gives results like Mars, Kujavat Ketu. So that means when Rahu enters Saturn's earth sign, Capricorn, its worldly hunger is tempered by Saturnian structure, forcing calculated ambition. And when Ketu enters Moon's water sign Cancer, its fiery martial energy scorches emotional attachments, driving deep internal inwardness. So now, friends, you can see over here that this is going to be the great alignment in Capricorn and Cancer, karmic alchemy, planetary overlays, and psychological transmutation, which we will discuss. So now comes the question, when the nodes of the moon, Rahu and Ketu will enter Capricorn and Cancer, the universe forces an uncompromising balance between public responsibility and the emotional truth. We have already discussed Rahu acts like Shani, Saturn. So Rahu acts like Saturn in Capricorn. It triggers hyper-focused ambition, structural engineering, corporate authority, and pragmatic mastery. It demands tangible real-world execution while testing integrity. And Ketu acts like Mars, Kujavat Ketu in Cancer. Ketu acts like Mars in Cancer. It ignites a fierce spiritual cleansing of emotional dependencies, ancestral karmas, and superficial safety blankets, dissolving false comfort loops. So Bhrat Prashar Hora Shastra, friends, we have already discussed. Rahu's nature is smoky, illusionary, seeking worldly expansion, which it gets. There is an overlap of the Rahu's innate nature and the Capricorn energy. Whereas Ketu is completely in overlap, being in the domain of the Cancer. Because Cancer is like emotions and feelings, which comes from the heart, right? And Ketu also does not have a head. It does not have a rationality as much as it has the feelings and the intuition. So Ketu's nature is like deeply perceptive, burning away lunar attachments to elevate soul consciousness toward final liberation. If you were to ask me, more than the Aquarius Leo, it is much more strengthened, potent combination. So, full Deepika and Jatak Parijat, friends. So, they all have mentioned that when we talk about their mechanics, so nodes deliver the results of their sign lord. Rahu absorbs Saturnian discipline, transforming effort into high status, and Ketu's dissolution qualities. Transiting moon sign, Ketu completes inner isolation, awakening dormant psychic sensitivity and detachment. Now, friends, let's have our discussion on their transit over your natal planets. So, let's say, for example, if you have Sun being placed in the Capricorn, right? So, Rahu will transit over it. So, it can explode the career ambition, authority, drive, and the need for the public status. And you will see over here that the karmic and psychological confront, like the karmic and the psychological impact of it. You will see that there is going to be ego inflation versus the real competence, and you have to watch for conflicts with father figure or government authorities. But let's say, for example, if your career entails some sort of controversy, rapid growth is something which you are anticipating, you're dealing with the futuristic innovative like products, or you are in that industry, so I would say that growth could be very rapid during this time. The status and see, the thing is, you can maneuver your image and your public identity the way you want it, so you'll be able to control it, because Rahu acts like an illusion, right? So Rahu will create a lot of the hype, a lot of the curiosity around you, and which is, I guess, one of the driving factor to be popular and famous in today's modern day and age. That everyone is curious and they are searching for you. So that kind of fame, heightened sense of ambition, slight controversy, and going against the father could be a case, especially people who are in the family business and all. But yes, friends, as per the innate nature of, and again, here I'm not talking about Ketu going over Sun, where Sun is being placed in the Libra. If your Sun is placed in the Capricorn, you are already disciplined, organized, structured, and ambitious person. And then Rahu going over it. So understand it. This whole dynamics is not only about Rahu going over Sun. It's about Rahu going over Sun, but in the Capricorn. Now, friends, let's say, for example, if you have like Sun being placed in the Cancer, so that means Ketu is going over it. So this could be the time of where your ego could be dissolved, or the external identity could be completely dissolved. And the karmic and psychological impact is going to be that there will be the feeling of invisibility or identity crisis. It will demand shifting from seeking external validation to cultivating the inner soul authority. So yes, friends, like you will see a lot of like humility, and there will be temporary loss of the external recognition, forcing you deep into inner self-reliance. All of that is going to be possible. And sometimes what I've seen in my research, people get a posting or a transfer to the department, to the nature of work, which they feel is undermining their competence, which is undermining their true potential. But in these kind of situation and state, they end up having self discovery. So all of that is possible, but don't expect your projection to be as per your liking. The way I mentioned, you might, if you are in a federal system, you might be posted to the places where, like, as per your calculation, initially you might not be very comfortable. Now friends, comes the very karmic and emotionally unsettling news, especially those who have their moon in the Capricorn or moon in the Cancer. So, friends, when we talk about like Rahu transiting over your moon in the Capricorn, so this can create mental restlessness, obsessive thoughts, and unquenchable material desire. That means you want something, but you're not very sure. Even if you will get your dream posting, dream promotion, still you're not very contented and you're confused, illusions are very strong, or in certain cases if your dashas are also not running very favorable, so because of your wrong actions you will end up gaining lot of professional enmity, or lot of the questions and doubts, uncertainty will be raised over your professional endeavors. So all of that is going to be the concern over here. So all what I can say is that yes, there is going to be hyper mental activity, there is going to be strategic obsession, and there is going to be that sort of emotional stoicism driven by the material goals. So, yes, friends, the karmic and the psychological impact is, especially if you have your moon in the Capricorn, that the karmic and psychological impact is emotional turbulence masked by a very stoic, quiet kind of exterior, and high risk of psychological burnout if ambition is ungrounded. Now, friends, if you have your moon in the Cancer, so beyond any doubt, if your moon is in the Cancer, in the, like, this could be Pushya Nakshatra or this could be Ashlesha Nakshatra. So this is going to be the time of ultimate emotional detachment. The karmic and psychological impact is going to be heightened intuition and psychic sensitivity. But the native might be prone to emotional isolation as well. Like we can say apathy or unresolved maternal karma. Sometimes what happen is that even if you are a parents, so what is happening back with your family, like even if you're living in a foreign land, your family is based in India or some other country, so your intuitive faculties are going to be very strengthened, very potent during this time. Any interest taken in meditation, like grounding of your emotions through gardening, or this could be having a pet in your family in your life during this time, or journal writing, diary writing, all of that is going to be very very therapeutic for you. Being close to water is very very therapeutic for you during this time. So yes, friends, good and bad will come definitely. It all comes down to individual, how grounded you are in regular times. I mean to say, Ketu transiting over your natal moon can bring the psychic faculties and the spiritual powers and the higher realm spirits to you. Or this could be a case that it can make you emotionally very vulnerable. So again, the good part is that the cleansing potential is going to be very strong. Anything which you have been holding up within you, this is going to be the time of cleansing of all the past trauma, and the intuitive insights and the spiritual awakening is going to be of next level. Again, friends, if with this combination you're also running very intuitive dashas like Jupiter Moon, Moon Jupiter, or like Moon Ketu, you're planning to undertake any pilgrimage, you're planning to undertake any spiritual retreat, any yoga meditation course, you will gain immensely. So, friends, now when we talk about like transit over the natal Mars, so friends, look at this way that let's say for example, if your Mars is in the Capricorn, your Mars is already exalted, and Rahu's transit over here will actually make it like unstoppable. So Rahu transit over this natal Mars being in the Capricorn is going to be unstoppable tactical drive, engineering breakthrough, and slight risk of burnout or hasty aggressive moves. But again, it's not like Mars is in the Scorpio or Mars is in the Aries. Mars is very, very grounded in the Capricorn. So if I were to say, friends, um, Rahu will amplify this into hyper ambition and the risk taking. I will not call it relentless drive. Rather, I would call it very pinpointed, focused drive. So the karmic and psychological impact is going to be high physical energy and career breakthrough, but require anger management to prevent burnout or legal dispute. Now, friends, let's say for example, if your Mars is in the Cancer, debilitated, right? So that means Mars is debilitated here. Ketu here can cause passive aggression, internal frustration, or sudden loss of stamina. And the karmic and psychological impact is going to be like, it can force you to internalize your strength, heal deep-seated survival fears, and master your emotional discipline. So, yes, friends, all what I can say is that if you have this Mars in the Cancer in the fourth house, in the eighth house, in the 12th house, it can make you injury prone, accident prone. It can actually affect your relationship with the living signification of that house. So, be careful. Now, friends, let's say, for example, if you have your Mercury being in the Capricorn, which is one of the good placement, and Rahu transiting over it. So during this time, you might gain those skills, those language, make those connections, which will help your professional progress. All those connections and like the expertise over the skills could be completely foreign in nature as well, but you will gain very quickly. So I mean to say, Rahu over Mercury in the Capricorn can sharpen your strategic thinking, commercial intellect, and unconventional business communication. So the karmic and psychological impact is going to be, it can give you mental overactivity. You have to be beware of the deceptive deals, overthinking or anxiety. But in a nutshell, this is a very good placement and very good transit for you. And friends, let's say for example, if your Mercury is in the Cancer, so and Ketu is transiting over it, it can silences the superficial chatter. The karmic and psychological impact is going to be that communication will become very, very scarce. Like, it can make you very profound, intuitive. It could be excellent for research, astrology, deep writing, but it can again cause misunderstanding in the daily social interactions. So in that domain, you have to be careful. See, within the Cancer, if Mercury is in the Ashlesha, it is still fine because Ashlesha is ruled by Mercury. But yes, in other combinations, you have to be slightly careful. Deep inside, for introspection, it might be good, but for the interpersonal relationship, not a very supportive energy. Now, friends, when we talk about like if you have your Guru, your Jupiter in the Capricorn, that means it is already debilitated, and now Rahu is going over it. So, friends, it can create Guru Chandal transit impact. That means Jupiter is debilitated and making Rahu challenge the established tradition, morality, and the dogmatic belief. So, this could be the time where, let's say, for example, if your morals are already questionable, and that is how you are being perceived in your professional work sphere in the society. So allegations, being accused of something, harassment at work. So all of that is going to be possible, and somehow your own greed or like lack of calculation might be responsible for that. So during this time, refrain from deceit, shortcuts, or quick gains. And the karmic and the psychological impact, friends, is going to be that it's like we can say unconventional belief system will take root. High material impact, I'm sorry, high material expansion is possible, but again, morals need to be watched. So high material expansion is possible, but watch out for the misguided advice or ethical slip. That is what I'm like highlighting over here. Because again, whatever Rahu will do over here, immediate after this, Rahu is going to the domain and the house of the Jupiter, Sagittarius only. So you don't want to be embarrassed when you are in front of the door of the god or the temple or the religious shrine because of the sins you have committed. So you have to be very careful. Um, so, and friends, when we talk about like Ketu transiting over Jupiter in Cancer, so if your Jupiter is in the Cancer, it is already exalted. So, and now Ketu is transiting over it. So, Ketu's transit here is deeply spiritual. Like this is the moksha indicator. So the karmic and psychological impact is going to be high spiritual breakthroughs. There might be detachment from the wealth status, and but the good part is that there is a potential of the profound realization of the highest wisdom that is going to be possible. And again, if you are doing something which is like very academic in nature, of like where the benefit of the humankind is involved, or you want to do something for the promotion spread of the wisdom, divine wisdom, like the way I know this word we call as the promoter or pracharak. You are the promoter of any good teachings of your guru and all. So major opportunities will come, like the universe, the cosmos, and the luck will support you in all of your endeavors, especially if you are doing kind of a God's work. So omens will support you. Now, friends, when we talk about the Venus, so if your Venus is in the Capricorn, it is considered as good. You might be in the field connected with Venus, like fashion, entertainment, media, actors, PR, and all. Rahu transiting over it, that means there will be obsessive desire in the relationship, material luxury, and status driven art or unconventional romantic choices could also be possible during this time. But again, it is going to be for your advantage, for your good. See, again, the relationship might be hollow when it comes down to your bonding with the partner, but outside or in the society, it will be seen as very successful. So the karmic and psychological impact is going to be illusion in relationship. It can forces you to examine whether you value a partner for who they are or what status they bring. If, let's say, for example, your Venus is in the Cancer and Ketu transiting over it, it can give you detachment from the romantic dependency and sensory pleasure. The karmic and psychological impact is going to be like existing relationship might undergo a litmus test. Like the shift will focus toward unconditional, self contained love rather than transactional validation. Friends, let's say, for example, if you have your like Saturn being placed in the Capricorn and Rahu transiting over it. So it can see Saturn in its own sign, right? So Rahu can create massive pressure for structural expansion, career reengineering, and long term legacy work. Like the karmic and the psychological impact is going to be that heavy responsibility could come with the elevation in your status, and there might be intense workload and confronting the reality of the hard work versus the shortcuts. But again, friends, this could be the time when you can consider, like this could be a case that you do online classes, but now you want to set up with hiring team and registering your business. So that kind of groundedness in your business, in your ambition, in your growth could happen during this time. If your Saturn is placed in the Cancer and Ketu is transiting over it, it can create deep frustration with the existing emotional and domestic responsibilities. So the karmic and psychological impact is going to be breaking away from the ancestral conditioning, old career structure, or heavy duties that no longer serve soul growth. And lastly, friends, my favorite, which I always say, if it is going to be the Rahu Ketu inversion for you. So if you have your Ketu in the Capricorn, Rahu in the Cancer, and Rahu's transiting over your natal Ketu, Ketu transiting over your natal Rahu. So this is going to be the time when there will be many forced changes can happen in the life. You might be going through some sort of perplexing situations in the life. The past will come in front of you, like the past will come in the future and can change your present. So seeds sown in the past will come in front of you, bringing or making life slightly confusing, or it might seem like very perplexing right now. And just because the domain of Capricorn and Cancer is involved, so your career, your status, and your domestic life might be involved. So those decisions which you have taken before in your career will come into the surface, affecting your domestic life as well, affecting your public image as well, now for good or for bad. For that we have to do the personal analysis. So friends, the karmic trade-off in this transit is that the universe empties the Cancer house releasing emotional codependency, past conditioning, and domestic comfort to fuel the Capricorn house, like building long term authority, professional responsibility, and material mastery. So, the psychological balance, which I can say over here, is that avoid the trap of hiding behind the hard work, Rahu in Capricorn, to escape processing raw emotions, Ketu in Cancer. So, the real progress will occur when outer duty is anchored by inner emotional sovereignty. So, friends, the growth lessons for you is that we have already discussed depressurizing the emotional nest of the Cancer. Ketu will ask you to surrender codependency, emotional guilt, and attachment to the past safety zones. True security must be found within. Building real world sovereignty, Capricorn. Rahu compels you to step up into leadership, accept professional accountability, and build enduring system with strong, stoic, quiet focus. Healing ancestral karma. Intergenerational family patterns regarding lineage, land, and authority are resolved through detached wisdom and practical duty. And mastering the work home equilibrium. Neither abandon the home for career obsession nor hide in emotional comfort to escape world duty. So, yes, friends, all what I did in this discussion is that it's as simple as that. Capricorn planets, Rahu transiting over it, obsessive drive, status expansion, intense ambition. Cancer planets, Ketu transiting over it, emotional numbness, spiritual detachment, and cleansing. So, and the integration strategy, just channel energy into grounded long term systematic goals and practice active meditation from the Ketu's perspective. Ketu's perspective for the Cancer planets, practice active meditation, release past attachment. And from the Capricorn's perspective, the advice is channel energy into the grounded long term systematic goals. And yes, for the Aries and Libra, it is going to be happening in the Kendra. For the Taurus Virgo, it is going to be happening in the trine. We always say trine generally tells about the talent you have. And the Kendra Bhava 1, 4, 7, 10 gives you the stability and the opportunity. So yes, friends, Rahu creates the elusive hunger for the material world. Ketu serves the bond to grant the eternal wisdom of the soul. So that means they both are equally responsible. There are those saints as well. If you are even if you are like just sitting there under a tree giving free advice, people will stop listening to you, or they will start ignoring you. Or even if you like become like a guru who just ask for money even to talk, even then also people will ignore you. So I mean to say, balance is required. So Rahu will create the elusive hunger for the material world, and Ketu will sever the bond to grant the eternal wisdom of the soul. This is one of the potent kind of axis for Rahu and Ketu. Again, people talk about, here I'm specifically talking about the axis. People say Rahu is good in the 12th house or in the Pisces, but that puts Ketu in the Virgo, not a good placement. People say Rahu is very good in the Aquarius, but that puts Ketu in the Leo, not a very good placement. So I mean to say, this Cancer and Capricorn is one of the best placement for them to be placed in. One of the best access placement. So yes, friends, that is all what I wanted to say. Once again, thanks a lot for watching this video.